Disclaimer, before I go ahead and talk about the things that I want to talk about in this video, understand that I'm not an expert on this topic. Understand that if you want more information, please go ahead and purchase Jason Miller's book, Protection and Reversal Magic. Again, I am very conflicted about sharing this topic with you guys, but it's a must, it's part of the book, and I am committed to share with you guys the content of this book. So please understand, it's warning, I am not an expert and I am not telling you what to do if you go through these experiences. Hi witches, what's it be? This is White Raven over here. Today is definitely not Monday, but I am so committed to you guys to share all the information in this awesome book by Jason Miller on protection and reversal magic. And today we're going to touch a topic that I was a little bit conflicted to share with you. Again, I did a disclaimer before I started this video, and it has to do with exorcisms. What? Yes. So something that you need to be very clear about, and I don't think I have stressed this out in the past two videos that I did for you guys, is that when you are cursed, you don't necessarily have to be cursed by a person. All right? Being cursed, when we talk about these things, we're thinking, oh, my friend or my ex-boyfriend or her girlfriend went to so-and-so and they're doing some kind of magic on me. They're doing some kind of curses on me. Yes, that happens, but that not necessarily means that that is the only way that you can get cursed. We do not get cursed just by other people. There's different ways for you to be on a curse situation, to get cursed and hex, okay? Tener una maldición, all right? That doesn't necessarily mean it's another person. There's different circumstances that can get you there, all right? So one of the things that you're going to do once you realize that you have been cursed is an exorcism. Now, you do an exorcism, that is extreme, guys. That is when protection did not work. All the amulets and all the baths and all the sage and all the incense and all the powders and the dusts and everything you have done just absolutely completely did zero, nothing, because the entity, the spirit that we are working against has taken the upper hand. It's way too strong. It's completely dominated your surroundings, your mind, your body. It's a pretty scary topic. Again, I am not an expert on this topic by any means. All right, so this is something that I want to relate to you before we go ahead. So what do you need when you need to have an exorcism done? You need an exorcist. Now, the first thing that we get in the back of our head when we talk about this topic is movie The Exorcist. And let's try to keep that image that we have in the back of our heads of the, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Let's try to keep this away from our mind from a second, and let's look at this from the perspective of witches and spiritual beings that we are. All right. So what is an exorcist? So it's a person that is going to expel evil presences, right? By virtue of his or her spiritual authority. Meaning, this is not a job for the fainted heart. All right. This is something that it takes a lot for you to actually being able to successfully conduct an exorcism. Okay, there's two types of conditions on which you're going to need an exorcism. One is very common or more common, and the other one is very, very, very extreme and rare. Okay, so again, yesterday I shared with you guys, do not be a psychic hypochondriac, and what that means is don't make and create problems but they're not. All right, so the first condition in which you will be needing an exorcism is in the case of a possession. Now, a possession is an infestation, and these are in the words of Jason Miller. I love that man. So it's an infestation of a person but an evil or negative spirit. Very, very, a spirit is invading your space, your body, your mind, okay? And in this case, you either feel a presence inside of you, or the spirit, the entity, is going to legit take over. All right? So this is one of those cases in which you need an exorcist to help you out, get rid of that presence and that evil spirit inside you. If you're going to conduct an exorcisms, it is not enough to believe that you can channel this powerful will, which is the will of the gods that should be within you, but you also have to 100% know it. Because you know what happened? If you start doing an exorcism and you do not successfully complete this whole process, things can get worse. Things can get so much more worse for the person that needs to be exorcised. So once you commit to do an exorcism for a person, you need to complete it. No matter how long it takes. Once you begin, you must end it. All right? So it's very simple. A possession is an evil entity completely taking over your thoughts, your body, your vision, what you talk, what you do, absolutely everything. If it's a milder possession, you're going to feel the entity within you. If it's a hardcore possession, you're taking over. You're done. You do not longer exist. Your body is the puppet of this spirit. Okay? Now, there's a second condition that I think is more common. All right? And a lot of us experience this here and there. And that is an obsession, right? So think about it. In Spanish, we call this muertos recostados. Like you have the dead like against you, right? Muertos recostados. So you pick things up sometimes in places. You pick things up by people that is around you that are infested with all this negativity. Right? These are muertos recostados. These are obsessions. All right? So when you go through an obsession, it's like an intrusive, hostile, negative, dark energy. Okay? And this could start by feelings, thoughts. You get really in a bad mood. You could get violent. You are depressed. You're super anxious. It's like, yeah, is that all that attack into your mind, okay? So this could be an obsession of a spirit, okay? This could happen when you go to a cemetery and you do not do rituals to enter the cemetery, all right? So that's one of the ways that you can pick up an obsession, all right? So this could start again by feeling things, thoughts, visions, paranoia. You legit feel it, guys. It's so obvious when you have an obsession, guys. And then it could go to full-blown physical phenomena, like things are falling in your house. Like, I think obsessions, you can stop them really early. If you let these things go, they could really escalate and it could get really out of control. So these are things that you need to stop right away. And in the videos that I just shared with you before, you know, there's some ways for you to stop these obsessions right when they begin. But if you let them go like out of your control, then this is when they become a motive for you to have an exorcism. Okay, these spirits, they're working actively to our detriment. They really will in the long run, they will really hurt us. A common complaint of an obsession is the weight in your chest where you're sleeping. It's like sleep paralysis. Again, I have different opinions about sleep paralysis. Sometimes I feel like this is a great opportunity if you learn to control, when you meditate and you learn to control your sleep paralysis. This is a way for you to communicate with the spiritual world. I don't necessarily think that sleep paralysis is always negative. Okay, but yeah, that's also symptom of an obsession. All right. Obsessions are more common than possessions. They can affect places or persons. Okay, and these situations can still be dangerous, okay, and should not be taken lightly. Like, you know how some people sometimes feel like they push them down the stairs? That is an obsession. Like, when things get actually physical that are not within your body, they're from outside, but they're physical, those are actually obsessions. Like, imagine a person obsessed with you, they just won't leave you alone, right? If you think you are in the need of an exorcism, make sure that first you extinguish any psychological and science reason. All right, I'm very conflicted about possessions because I think they're so rare. I think they are so very rare. However, I truly believe in obsessions. Possession is something really, it's harder for me to get my mind into it, right? But obsessions, yes, okay? But if you need an exorcist because you're either possessed or if you feel like you have a obsession, which is more common, please make sure that you leave this to expert people. You do not want to do an exorcism yourself, let alone doing an exorcism by yourself alone. Okay, if you do not know how to do an exorcism, please do not play with fire. Again, you can make these situations a lot worse than what they are. Okay? You need to know how to handle this energy. It's not that you feel in your heart that you can do it. Again, just like these are Jason Miller's words, okay? It is not enough for you to believe that you can channel that will. You indeed need to know it. You have to know it 100% that you can do it, okay? It's a very serious operation, guys. This is not something that you do in 5 seconds. You go to somebody's house, you put some holy water on the person, and you chant some Padre Nuestro and Ave Marias, and everything is gone. No, that's not how it goes, okay? You should not attempt exorcisms by yourself. This is like the 20th time I tell you this right now. If you do not know, don't do it. Guys, there's a lot of good that we want to do sometimes. Me over here today, I want to share with you guys all this information. I want you guys to have this knowledge because, you know, I watch so many YouTube videos. I read so many books. I read so many of you guys inbox, emails, messengers. And at the end of the day, I want you guys to know, because once you know reasons, once you know science and the logic behind things, everything becomes easier. Remember that knowledge is power. So I just want to share these things with you guys. I want to like put that little seed in your brain, and maybe that seed can grow and it becomes this hunger for knowledge. The more you learn, the better. The more you learn, the better. And the more you know, the less you're going to be in the situation of being taken for a fool. All right? Learn to distinguish between a possession, an obsession, a curse from another person. And you know what? Yeah, sometimes we move into houses and they're very mischievous spirits. That is not an obsession. Learn how to discern from something that is actually malevolent and something that is just there, they just want to acknowledge, and you're happy living with your spirits. Okay, so just my little grain of sand in here for you guys to learn. Please stay tuned. The next video is going to be super cool. It's going to be on a topic that we already have spoken before, which are going to be servitors and guardian spirits. All right, that's coming up. And of course, guys, I'm going to share with you guys baths, dust, and powders and all that stuff for you to protect yourself, clean up, and send magic away from you. Reversal magic. Okay, thank you so much for all the love. Okay, and thank you so much for your patience. Until next video coming up soon, stay tuned. Bye.